I do not participate in sexual activities, okay? This includes, but is not limited to, kissing, pooping on the phone, holding hands romantically, and going on dates. That's all very degenerate behavior. And if you participate, you're going to hell. The story I'm about to tell you is one that could probably get me banned from college. I'm already probably banned, though, from my TikToks of eating pineapples out of public toilets. So that's chill. This story really makes me question where my head was at in 2023 through 2024. Okay? And I'm going to tell it in 3 parts: the start, the middle, and the end. So, it progressively gets worse. So listen up, Jeeve. It started back in spring of 23 when my church youth group decided to go on a spring break trip to Missouri. And if y'all have ever been to Missouri, you know the only thing to do there is crush on a girl that's way out of your league. And that's exactly what I did. Her name was and I was insanely into her because she was really pretty and she was quiet. I really like quiet girls for some reason, you know what I'm saying? We got to the Airbnb, and the boys are chilling in the hot tub, and they're like, yo, how's y'all's love lives? And I was like, dude, I'm really into and they're like, dog, we could totally get y'all set up together. And then proceeded to tell me to cuddle her while we were watching Napoleon Dynamite. That was their entire, relationship advice kit. I did not do that. I was not at that level of obsession yet. Okay, if I had the opportunity down the road, maybe I'd be a weirdo. But no. Not. Anyways, it all came to a climax when the dudes decided to go skinny dipping down in the freezing cold lake at the bottom of the hill. So we went down there. They dumped milk on their head and filmed something. It was gay, okay? And then we jumped in. We didn't actually skinny dip because we're a bunch of youth group dudes. So we're running up this hill. I'm carrying my dry clothes. And I get to the top of the hill. I'm hiding behind the church van trying to figure out how to get around the fireplace surrounded by girls. Carrying dry clothes. I'm kind of an idiot when my brain's going 1,000,000 miles per hour. So I'm standing there. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And then I looked over to my right, and there was a little game room. And right there was and I said, frick it, we ball, and I streaked the fireplace. All the girls got to see my boxered up cheeks, okay? I'm not trying to sound sus here. That's just what happened. And I jumped in the hot tub, and then I put some clothes on. I went and talked to a little bit, and then made her laugh a little bit, and then she dipped. That was the first part of the story. It gets insanoer as it goes. The next time I had contact with this feminine specimen was that summer, okay? We were going to summer camp. At this camp, there's a long-running tradition of asking a girl on an icy date to go get an icy. I know. Like I said, I never participated in sexual activity. Give me a break. It's just an icy. It's not a real date, okay? So I built up the courage after previously asking her if there were a bunch of furries that went to her school. And I caught her as she was leaving the lunch line and asked her if she would accompany me to get an icy that evening. This was Thursday night. We were leaving the next evening. So it had to be now or never. I was literally shaking when I asked her. I'd never asked a girl on a date up to this period of time. And I was freaking out, dude. So I'm all excited. I'm getting hyped. And then guess what? A thunderstorm rolled in, and the leaders would not let us go out. What a bunch of sticks in the mud. Hold on. So what's the next logical thing? Maybe to call a rain check, be like, yo, baby girl, let's pick this back up when we get back to the States. No. I went up. I said, yo, sorry it didn't work out. I went and sat down. She came and sat next to me. And any playboy is like, dude, yeah, that's your ticket. I did not punch the ticket. I ignored her. I was scared. I was still obsessed, though. That's a dangerous combination, dude. I proceeded to stalk her social media activity. If you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I still watch your social media, but I'm still really sorry. Hold on. So I just kind of observed her from a distance for the next 8 months. It was not an ideal scenario, but the final nail in the coffin came 8 months later. I had not spoken to her in this time period, and it's time for the next spring break trip finally. I got a really dumb idea because I was staying at my boy's house the night before, and there was a group chat with everybody going on the trip in it. I proceeded to text every single number saying, hello, I'm texting you from a group chat. What is thy name? And I finally found her and then sent her a video of this video. That video was from a TikTok of me bragging about virginity. Pretty epic. Exactly what I'm doing here, but still, you know. But I thought I was spitting serious game, dude. She sent, like, some crying face emoji, like, you know, and I thought I was ballin'. Went on this trip, proceeded to find out she was dating a Mexican dude. No racial insensitivity meant by that. Mexicans are epic. So what did I do? Did I give up? Frick, no. I obsessed harder than ever. I got borderline suicidal because I was in such a depression over a girl I'd spoken to less than a handful of times. It was bad, dude. I got to the point where I could actually listen to Igor by Tyler, the Creator. Like, it was a bad period of time. And it all came to the final climax of this story when I decided to call her while she was in an active relationship and confess my feelings because my grandpa said it was a really good idea. And when I called her, she was actually in college initiation. And she picked up somehow for some reason because she didn't have my number saved. And I said, hey, I've liked you for a long time. And she said, who's this? And I said, this is Jakin. And she said, oh yeah, I know. And then I hung up on her. Anyways, now my standings with her are I celebrate when she breaks up with her boyfriend. And then I get really sad and follow her on Instagram. She did follow me back. We're balling now. But she didn't unfollow me when she got a new boyfriend, which means she probably did not think of me as competition, which means I'm cooked. Yeah, so simping's really bad. One time I ate a gummy bear off a church van floor that had been sitting there for 3 days just because I was such a simp for this babe. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind like a